This recent Breakfast Club interview with Ja Rule has reignited the Ja Rule and 50 Cent beef. Ja Rule and 50 Cent has been feuding for years, but as of lately, their feud was really one-sided, to be honest. Ja Rule stopped paying 50 Cent attention, stopped responding back to him, essentially paying him dust. 50 Cent even tried to evoke a reaction out of Ja Rule when Irv Gotti passed away. 50 Cent would take to his Instagram and claim he was smoking on the Irv Gotti pack. This was done directly to disrespect Irv Gotti and to also get a reaction out of Ja Rule, but it didn't work. As a matter of fact, the only person that responded back to 50 Cent dissing Irv Gotti was Supreme Jr.'s son.
And if I said I was smoking on your mother and your grandfather pack, you'd be telling me I'm wrong, right? If I said I was smoking on your mother, right, I'll be wrong, right? Man, a clown, man. And y'all love this nigga, bro. He's a clown, bro. If I said I was smoking on your mother and your grandfather, I'll be wrong, right?
He was the only one. All the OGs with that camp, like Ja Rule, Supreme, they stayed quiet. Now, when I see people like that who already got to 50 Cent once, who already shot 50 Cent 9 times, when I see those people being quiet with disrespect like this, oh, I know they up to no good. I know they plotting on 50. So that's why I believe Supreme responded back to his son swiftly. As soon as his son made a response to 50 Cent, Supreme is calling in from prison. He made a response to have the record clear that there's no beef with 50 Cent. They're master of self-defense. They're for positivity. They're not for no beef and no problems and no violence, which to me tells me they have something cooking for 50 Cent.
Due to recent events, the elevation to a place of peace and rest for my brother and friend, Irv Gotti, and the buffoonish display of my son, Kyle Robinson, I am forced to make a public statement in defense of Irv and his family. I do not indulge in idle chit-chat. When I speak, I have something to say. Kyle Robinson does not speak for Irv or Irv's family, nor does he speak for me or my nephew, Gerald Prince Miller. I was disgusted when I heard about the things he said as far as representing Irv's family. I regret having to take these steps, exposing his lies and fraud. But as a man, you call out those who make inappropriate or false statements. No one gets a pass. I would not be who I am if I favored him simply because he's my son. He is my son, and I love him. But I will never condone or associate with his conduct and behavior on the internet. I let him know men don't argue and beef behind a mic on the internet. Real men move in silence. He had a choice, me or the net. He made his choice. And until he forsakes the clown show, which is the internet, I will never speak or associate with him, especially when he makes veiled threats talking about we. Who is we? Prince and myself do not promote threats of violence. We different. We are masters of self-defense.
It sounds like they was plotting and the son made it too hot. Now, Supreme Jr. is my dog. Like that's my boy. Like, we rock. You feel me? So, I got nothing bad to say about Supreme Jr. That's my homie. Feel me? But I do think he meant well. But the father, to me, is plotting. But Ja Rule never responded. Ja Rule never addressed 50 Cent. Ja Rule just completely ignored it. Now, Ja Rule would admit that he was seething. He was upset. He wanted to really do something to 50 Cent and really get back. But it was Supreme who talked him off the edge. So during the Breakfast Club interview, they brought this up. They asked Ja Rule about how he felt about 50 Cent disrespecting Irv Gotti. And this was Ja Rule's response.
So it's also interesting to me that you all 50 have not outgrown each other. And what I mean by that is, if you're talking to 50, Ja gonna come up. If you're talking to Ja, 50 gonna come up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't bring him up per se at all.
No, we do.
Yeah.
The media does.
Yeah.
But, because I think that's because he's, a troll and he keeps it going.
You be throwing jabs and throwing them back, but you be.
I'll go to the circus once in a while. You know what I mean? But I really like to stay clear of that.
One thing I did notice, though, is that Lauren LaRosa was in this interview. and not Just Hilarious. I thought Just Hilarious was the official third seat, but that's just a side point. Ja Rule isn't lying. For the most part, Ja Rule has been pretty quiet. Now, again, like, I'm not really gonna like throw a parade for Ja Rule being quiet, right? Because usually when you are on the losing end of things, usually when you lose every argument or every beef or every interaction with 50 Cent, yeah, it's best you probably stay quiet, right? Like I would have probably applaud Ja Rule if Ja Rule was in 50 Cent's position and he was the one who had all the power and he was the one who was winning and he was the one with all the money, then like that would be something to really look at. But if you losing, you being quiet isn't really like a sign of your strength, right? It's a sign of, like probably weakness as well, right? So, but they did a very good job at sort of continuing the conversation. Cause I feel like with most interviewers, the conversation would have probably ended here. Man, I don't want to entertain that. I don't want to talk about that. But Lauren LaRosa sort of segued into the conversation that we were all waiting for, which is the Irv Gotti question. They sort of avoided it for like halfway through the interview, but they finally got to it and asked Ja Rule how he felt about the Irv Gotti situation.
Yeah, because when
Like,
the residency stuff happened, I was like, oh Lord.
I like to have fun sometimes and poke jabs at them too, but that's all it really is. It's like and to me it's like it's silly. We're both successful black men. I think the focus should be on, continuing to make sure that we pay it forward, push forward, make sure the culture keeps going forward. I think that's more important. I see some of the things that he gets involved in, this feuds and something like grow up, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I be thinking of myself. And so when I see the things that he does, and he did the herb smoking, I'm like,
How did you feel about that? You saw it.
of course, nobody likes all this goofy shit, but it's goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not, Preem said it best. I spoke to Preem the other day. Preem has always got the right words and shit and the right things to say. Because I was hot. You know what I'm saying? I was hot. I was ready to go nuclear and shit. But, I say, So I spoke to Preem anyway. And Preem said, he said, Rule, he said, here's what you got to understand about who we are and what we are. He said, we are masters of self-defense. And I said, I love that. I said, because I don't want to start trouble, make trouble with people. But if we got to get into it and make it, I'll end it. I'll put it to where it go. I'll take it to the next. So.
Ja Rule is talking like him and 50 Cent haven't been beefing for the latter parts of like 2 decades. And he's talking like 50 Cent hasn't been winning. But Ja Rule says, if I got to end it, I'm going to end it. Bro, y'all been beefing for 20 years. Like, there was a point where y'all beef was actually in the streets and you still ain't ended. All right. Now, we do know you, allegedly did get him shot up 9 times, but he survived and then he ended your career, ended your livelihood. You went to jail. Your entire empire came crashing down and it destroyed. And 50 Cent now is up top. So I don't want to hear this. Oh, I will nuke it. Oh, I will end it. No, bro. You have 20 years. You had 20 years to end it. You didn't. Right? Like at all. But when I hear Ja Rule say the same thing that Supreme said when he dropped that video talking about, oh, we're masters of self-defense. We would never make veiled threats. It sounds like them boys plotting, bro. All right, just me being somebody who's tapped into the treachery, right? Just me being around a lot of shiesty people, that sounds like plotting from my perspective.
That's why I'm like, you know what? That is the best description of what I am and who I am as a man that I could ever think about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are as men. Mm-hmm. We're here to protect our families, protect our homes, defend our honor, our names, our reputation. That's what we're here. I'm not here to be a bully and bother people. That's not what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? But I am a master of self.
Charlamagne then asked Ja Rule a beautiful question, and I love Charlamagne for asking this question. He asked Ja Rule, don't you at least understand why 50 Cent is smoking on the Irv Gotti pack? Don't you at least understand where his hatred for you guys come from? Because essentially, like, after time goes by, we often associate the aggressor with the victim when the victim gets aggressive, right? Somebody can come and punch you in your mouth and run away. And when they run outside, all people is gonna do, they're gonna see you chasing them. All people are gonna see is you chasing that aggressor, catching him and pummeling him. They don't see how he smacked you in your mouth around the alley. In the case of Ja Rule and them started this. Right? 50 Cent was doing rap beef. They started this and turned it into a street beef and got some gangsters involved that almost killed 50. So, yeah, of course, I want to know, do you at least understand or accept why 50 Cent is doing this?
But in a way, you do have to understand why Fifth feels the way he feels, though. Right? When you think about everything that y'all been through,
I really don't.
really,
Yeah.
the fighting, the shooting, the stabbing.
What shooting? We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh well, never mind. I'm not saying anything like that. No. You know, yeah.
But that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know the reality of it all, and that shit ain't got nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's good for, people to play that when they want to play that, and then play victim when they want to play victim. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I leave it all alone. I live a really, really cool life. I'm in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, sometimes you just got to remove yourself from the circus. And that's what I've chose to do. And
Do you know who was behind the hit?
Do I know who was behind that hit? No, I don't know who was behind it, bruh. I don't know who was behind it. I know that Irv Gotti and them had put it out there like they was a part of it and they was going to do it that night, the day at the meeting, from their conversations and how they was acting. I know they had to have something to do with it. And they come to find out that the dudes who did it was working for Murder Inc. So I can't even speak on that about where they hate or where they respect or anything about them came at. But I know that when Irv Gotti and them did the shit that they did, everybody said that was Supreme doing it. And I don't think Supreme would have disrespect the respect that Chaz had for 50 and played a part in that. He knew that was some rap shit. That wasn't no gangster shit.
Ja Rule is capping. He know where that hit came from. He knows who shot 50 Cent 9 times. He know who put the hit out on 50 Cent. So from that perspective, bro, 50 Cent to me is completely validated to be on a war path of, hey, death, alive, heaven or hell, bro. We into it forever. We into it until my last breath. And I feel like Ja Rule has to understand it, but 50 Cent also has to understand that when Ja Rule and Supreme start plotting and start making things shake and start moving to apply pressure on 50 Cent, he got to understand, that what he doing warrants that. Right? Feel me? Like what you're doing warrants that reaction. You're smoking on people's dead homie, bro. As a 50-year-old man, what you're doing warrants a reaction that's very severe. Now, 50 Cent will respond back to Ja Rule on the Breakfast Club, and here's what he had to say. 50 Cent responded back to Ja Rule by claiming the Breakfast Club should be ashamed of themselves, asking questions that perpetuates violence. All right. This fool has been getting ready to go what he calls nuclear for 22 years. Like I told y'all, bro, y'all been beefing for 22 years, for 2 decades, bro. Stop saying, if I really wanted to, I would nuke it and go crazy. Nah, bro, you've had your chance, all right? And he says, LOL, yo, man in my runts right now. So he's still smoking Irv Gotti, bro. So Ja, we want the nuclear war you promised, bro. We want it, okay? We want the nuclear war you promised. Where is it? Let me know in the comment section, okay? What do you guys think about this, man? Do you guys feel like this beef is tiring, is old? Should 50 Cent have dissed Irv Gotti? Or do you guys feel like, yo, death don't end beef, man? All right, let me know. All right, and if you're still watching, click on this video right here on my screen, right here, okay, to find out why the Whack 100 and Big U beef almost turned deadly. I'm going to see you guys in this video somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.